Allow me to double check a couple of things quickly. You can jump in, guys, and tell me if I'm live or not. Oh, my video is jumping. There we go. Hi, everyone. Okay, there we are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Christina, and this is another new live show of the Truth Runners Talk Show. I'm very excited for today's conversation because I have the great pleasure to have as a guest Akleema Ali. So welcome, Akleema, to the Truth Runners Talk Show.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here.
Me too. Our theme today is the importance of self-discovery and self-transformation. Okay, we will be talking about energy healing, specifically about Reiki, and how Reiki can be a modality to be used in the journey of self-transformation and self-discovery. But before we dive in deep, I would love, guys, to introduce Akleema because she's new. She's never been in the talk show so far, and I really would love you guys to know her. She is certified in various Reiki modalities. She's a professional member of the International Center of Reiki Training, Reiki Healing Association, Center for Reiki Research. Akleema is the winner of the Top 10 Energy Healers of 2022, the Energy Healing Magazine, Friends and Women's Biz Magazine, Women's to Watch 2023. Akleema's articles were published in various publications. Reiki Healing in the Caribbean, Reiki News Magazine, publication of the ICRT in summer issue, Developing My Relationship with Holy Fire. Then Reiki News Magazine, publication of ICRT, fall issue, What is Love? Universal Life Magazine, and publication of RHA, just to name a few. So I would love to welcome you again, Akleema. I'm very happy that you agreed to join me today. I really love the topic what we are going to talk about. It's really close to my heart. So thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here.
The first question to you would be, just before we really dive in, how did you find out about Reiki?
I have to take a deep breath. How I found out? Yes.
Feel it out slowly.
I always tell people I came across it by accident. Reiki, I came across it by accident, but both you and I know, Christina, that there are no accidents, there are no mistakes, there are no coincidences in the universe. So what happened was, my sister-in-law went to a Reiki class and she was so blown away by being a healer, a practitioner, that she encouraged me and my husband to do a Reiki class. Now, at that point in my life, I was more into crystal healing, chakra balancing. So when he suggested, let's go and learn Reiki, even though I read what Reiki was, I still wasn't convinced I wanted to learn it. I said, no, I don't want to learn it. I don't want to go to the class. So he begged me to go to the class because he wanted to be an energy healer and he wanted a practice person. Because, you know, we have to practice in the class and have a partner to practice the energy with. So unwillingly, I went to this class. And Christina, in 6 months' time, I was the only one who wanted to go to the master training. My husband was no longer interested in going. My sister-in-law said she moved on to another modality instead of Reiki. So they both moved away from Reiki, actually. They don't practice Reiki. And I was the only one in this master training 6 months after. And I still remain the only one, even in my family, who practices Reiki, who, you know, does research on Reiki, who does all these motivational things, who do healing sessions for people. And it continues to be such a unpredictable and totally amazing path that sometimes I look back and I said, you know, it seemed like it was a mistake. And now I realize it was the greatest blessing or gift I've ever been given. Even though there are times that I felt that because Reiki is not widely accepted, especially in the Caribbean, sometimes I think, you know, it's not, I didn't accept it as a gift at some point in time. And over time, you know, Reiki is gently telling me humanity needs help. Humanity is looking for peace. Humanity needs oneness. And why are you keeping this gift to yourself? You have to be able to motivate, empower, inspire people. And you have to be able to show people that this gentle way of self-healing is the only way to go. It's one modality that we can use, and it's something that has totally transformed who I've been, how I, you know, do my everyday life. So Reiki for me started in 2017, where I got my Reiki attunement, and it has been totally amazing. And especially in the last few years, it has ramped up in ways I can't even imagine.
Wow, thank you so much, Akleema, for sharing that. And trust me, I so much, many things I resonate with you. But what really caught me is that you started with your husband and with your sister-in-law, the Reiki training, right? And you were the only one who actually finished it, and you are still doing and practicing Reiki. What caught you? What was that said, okay, Akleema, this is what, and you know, you said that you thought that it's a mistake being there and you don't want to go, but you know, universe, it has its own mysterious ways to direct us to not exactly what we want, but what we need. We might say, okay, why I have to go there? I don't really want to do that. But the truth is, universe always direct us what we need really on that moment. What was during that 6 weeks or 6 months, what said, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to practice it? What was in Reiki that actually caught you?
I think, well, initially, let me tell you something. Reiki is one of those mystery teachings. Now, you sit in this workshop, they give you a manual, you have everything in theory. You have the culture, you have all the Reiki masters who pass on their gift, and you are left wondering, what have you really been given? And the only thing they tell you is keep practicing every day. Every day, sit in meditation and practice Reiki and give yourself healing. And I started to do that when I got my attunement in 2017. And what started to happen, and now Reiki, when they say you heal yourself, it's not a pretty process. It's a very hard process. It's a very heartbreaking process, because just imagine you have a river or a drain that stops flowing and it becomes stagnant, and you have all the moss, the bubbles, the larvae at the top of the water. That's us. That's our baggage. That's our hurt. That's our stored emotion. So when I sat in Reiki and practiced every day, slowly, Christina, all of these things that was in my subconscious, all the repressed memories, all the trauma from relationships, things from childhood started to come up. And I knew they were coming up because it is asking me to release it. It is asking me, you don't need these burdens anymore. You have carried them enough. It is time for your spirit and your energy to get lighter. And that is what Reiki healing is about. And a lot of the times, even if a client comes, sometimes the client is not ready to acknowledge the work that it takes to heal yourself. So during these 6 months, I had a lot of memories that I thought I was really great at repressing at first.
This is what we all think.
Yeah, I'm really great at repressing. And now I realize that this flood of emotion and memories are coming up. And at first it was really difficult for me to accept that, do I really want to have these memories or these thoughts come up? And I said, you know what? Reiki gave me an adrenaline rush to sit and to be able to sit, Christina, and you feel your aura, you sense your energy, you feel where the heaviness is stored in your body. And I said, I have carried this long enough. And I think even to go to the master training, I'm living in the north of the island. The master teacher is in the south of the island. It takes more than an hour to drive down. I didn't want to drive down because by the time the training finished in the night, I would have to, drive back up. And I didn't like driving in the night. So even though I had all of this adrenaline rush and I was worried about doing the master training, going alone, everything worked out so perfectly that the Reiki master, I took the bus to go down. I didn't even drive. I took the bus and she organized transport where I could get to her safely. And everything magically worked out. And I told her, I said, I'm so worried about this part with Reiki. I feel all this rush and I feel that I want to do this healing, but how do I proceed? How do I continue? And she said, don't worry. Once your intention is there, the universe is going to find a path for you. Once you have started and you have accepted Reiki as a practicing modality, it carves its way and you just have to be willing to surrender and go when the energy takes you. So I was alone in this class for 3 days master training, and it was a true sanctuary. I did some really deep healing, came up with from even when my mom was in pregnancy, childhood trauma, those are the kind of things that were released. And the only thing my master teacher told me, she said, be very gentle with yourself. Going back into the world. She said, you need to have more compassion for yourself. And she said, in turn, you are going to have more compassion for every single person that you meet. And that is one of the beautiful things about Reiki that I can't explain to people. When we were younger, Christina, we always say, we wish people were different. We wish these situations were different. We wish the government was different. We wish the country that we live in is different. And over time, what we realize is that once we work on ourselves, the reflection around us or what we see changes. And where I was 5-6 years ago, and I started my Reiki journey, the reflection of the world that I see has entirely changed. And it continues to change very quickly. Because it brings you into alignment. And not only yourself, every single person that I meet comes into alignment so quickly. They find peace quickly. They find creative ideas quickly. Everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be. And that is a totally amazing thing to see from my perspective.
I'm loving what I'm totally resonate with you. I love what you are saying. You said a lot of things. I have a lot of questions. Yes, I know that with Reiki, a lot of pain comes up, a lot of pain is going to release. So I always ask, how much pain are you willing to take on? Because how much pain are you willing to feel and take? The healing is going to be faster or slower, but it's going to happen. And yes, we talked about healing. Every healing is self-healing. The moment when you allow yourself to heal, then the process comes. And I totally agree with you that it's not all pink and bubble, because it means actually going really down, really deep. Sometimes, in my case, memories, I didn't even realize, I didn't even know that they are there, because my subconscious hide them so well, that and during Reiki, during the healing sessions, during the process, along the journey, that comes out. And when you release those, you feel lighter. And there is one thing what you mentioned, and I really, really would love, if you would love just to expand a little bit, because for me, it was the hardest part. I'm really curious what was about you. We were talking about surrender. Now that, because we are so much used with control, we are so much, we need to control everything. We need to know everything. Surrendering in this journey was one of the hardest parts for me.
I think, Christina, I am still surrendering.
At some point, I think that it's an ongoing process. Yes,
it is.
True.
It's
true.
not just saying, yes, I surrender. It's living each moment in your life, trusting that this is exactly where you're supposed to be. And the thing with surrendering, like even before I go there, when you said that we have to acknowledge or ask ourselves, are we willing to do the healing work? A lot of the times, even before I did Reiki, Christina, I mean, I've been to so many psychics. I've been to so many, fortune tellers, people that can read, because, everybody wants to know. As you rightly say, we want to know what's coming. We want to know, what good is going to happen, what bad is going to happen. Yeah. And the thing is now, with Reiki, we realize that we are also giving away our control to other people. And now we have to work on ourselves. And in working ourselves, surrendering is really releasing, over time, because sometimes we want to do things instantly. A couple of months ago, I was in a medical situation and I sat in meditation, and it says, you have a burning question. What is it? I said, I'm in pain for months. It's like migraines for months. I said, I'm in chronic pain. I said, you know what I want? They said, ask for something. I said, I want physical healing. Christina, the answer I got was, that is meaningless. So it says you need to surrender, trust the process that is going to guide you with respect to being compassionate and surrendering to where your journey is. So sometimes even for me or for a client may come and say, healing for me is not having any pain. It is not having any physical ailments. And I told him, I said, no. I said, we are human. You have to accept we will get sick. You have to accept you will feel anger. You will feel fear. You will feel shame. You will feel guilt. You have to accept that people and loved ones around you will die. You will also die. And I said, once you can accept that, surrendering is surrendering to every single thing that your life journey or you are experiencing in your life. And just this morning, I was listening to a video and it keeps coming up. The theme is always choose love. At every conscious point, ask yourself, is this a decision or a choice of love? Are you being love? Are you speaking words of love? Are your acts of kindness, acts of peace, acts of compassion to people? And that is what surrendering is. Surrendering is, it's everything in these simple things in life. It's being grateful. It is forgiveness. And it is just being in a place of unconditional love for every single person that you meet. And it is a hard journey. It is very hard how to give unconditional love. But I assure you, Christina, the journey of surrendering, it's a lifelong journey. Because like I said, when I got, let's just picture my Reiki attunement in 2017 as a gift. Now, Christina, you have these Russian dolls made of wood. And every time you open the doll, there's a smaller doll.
Yes.
So
smaller and smaller.
Yes. Yeah, and it gets smaller and smaller. So this is how I feel with Reiki, with unfolding the layers. Now, of course, the core of the Russian doll is what we are all made of. It is pure God consciousness, spiritual consciousness that connects all. It is just golden light. That is the core in all of us. But what we get caught up in is all the layers and all the hurtful memories that we have, all the trauma, all the conditioning, all the beliefs. So surrendering is letting go of all of that and tuning in to the God consciousness in you. God is a vibration. God is a frequency. And the more that you ask to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, the universe is going to hear your call. And the universe is going to send you different things to test. Do you really want to raise your frequency? Do you really want to raise humanity's consciousness? And Reiki is one way that we can raise our spiritual consciousness. So surrendering is something that happens over time. But more and more, what happens to me with surrendering, in my Reiki practice, we were taught a affirmation, a mantra. So they encourage you to say it. So the mantra is, guide me and heal me so that I can be of greater service to myself and others. So I write it everywhere. I write it on my vision boards. I write it on pieces of paper. I say it throughout the day. Guide me and heal me so I can be of greater service to myself and others. Because the only way we can be of greater service to humanity is by healing ourselves first. So we can be a beacon of light to others. So surrendering is a process. It is very hard to explain how to surrender, but it is absolutely trusting and letting go your fear of what others may think of you, what society thinks of you, letting go even the expectations you have of yourself.
Exactly.
How you do things, how you operate. For me as a woman, as an Indian woman, cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, family traditions, what do we do with some of those things that create trauma, guilt, shame, bring up negative emotions? And they do bring up both. They bring up good things and they bring up bad things in us. How can we make peace with every single thing that we have and allow this God frequency to guide us?
Wow, thank you. You just answered it beautifully, Akleema. So thank you so much for that. Allow me to read something. Supriya said it's awesome. And Reverend Jocelyn is asking this question as you were talking about religion. What are your advice to someone who is afraid of this modality because of religious teachings?
That is a very popular question.
Oh, yes.
Even in, now, a lot of the times people feel Reiki is a religion. It is not.
Yeah. I'm sorry for cutting that. Let's say about spirituality first in itself has nothing to do with religion. Energy healing in itself, again, has nothing to do with a particular religion.
Yeah, but even in the Caribbean, a lot of people who approached me for Reiki when they were curious about it and they asked about what Reiki is, and I sent them the information, I told them what it is. The number one factor why people stay away from it is because they feel as if it goes against their religious beliefs. And what I always tell people is that sometimes you have a particular perception of what Reiki is. And I think it's the perception that has the limitation on what we allow and accept. Now, when I went through some of my Reiki classes, in one of my classes, I had a pastor of a church from the US. And it was so amazing. He was redoing his Reiki training, and everything you are meant to be on your soul journey, your life journey, your divine purpose, Reiki is going to carve that out for you. So even if you are a very religious person and you can have all your religious experiences, I can assure you I've met so many religious people who have attuned themselves to Reiki and they have profound experiences because it enhances what you are. If religion is your sanctuary, religion is your space to talk to God, Reiki is going to amplify that for you. And sometimes it's hard to believe. How can you amplify a space that religion has already created. And it requires you just to same allow and accept. God is going to amplify whatever it is you have in you, once you see it as positive. And what I always ask people, Christina, especially religious people, when you come even to do a group healing session, you're not coming to learn Reiki, you're coming to sit and experience what Reiki is. I said, you start your session, whatever makes you comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If you call in Archangel Michael, Gabriel, you want to call in Holy Spirit, you want to call in Jesus Christ, Divine Savior, Heavenly Father, you call in whatever is your frequency. And what happens is everything is filtered with the frequency that it comes through. So I actually had somebody who was very religious, and he came for a session. And afterwards, he was asking me the same thing. Mm-hmm. He said, I said, you just got confirmation concerning with respect to his religious path, with respect to reading the Bible more. He got confirmation with that. And he said, you know what, Akleema? He said, when I sat here, I wasn't too sure how I felt. But he said, I told God, if this is for me, then show me signs that this is for me. And he got the confirmation that he needed. I always tell people, everything is intention. Everything is frequency. Once you make the intention, I want this Reiki session or this practitioner, whoever you are working with, mm-hmm. I want God come through this practitioner. I want divine source, the creator of all that is, guide me, help me, direct me. The only thing that's going to come true is whatever your purest intention is. That is how Reiki works. Reiki works according to free will. So even if I want to run an energy session on somebody, mm-hmm. and it clashes with their religious beliefs, the Reiki will not flow.
True.
You have to be willing to say, even with my religious beliefs, let it flow through God. You set up everything that you want to flow through the frequency that you want. Reiki operates with that.
Thank you. You answered it beautifully, Akleema. And there is another thing what I really would love you guys to understand. Not the Reiki practitioner is going to heal you. We are not going to heal you. What we as Reiki practitioners are going to do is technically we are going to channel the energy coming from the source. And you are energy as well. And if you want to try that out, you don't have to believe me. Just right now in this very moment, put your hands together, rub them together really fast, and then just play with, do you feel, you have to feel, you must feel. Most people feel. If you don't worry, it's okay. It might take a little bit of practice. Actually, you know that you will feel. And you can expand your energy field, okay? You can expand it. And all what we do during a Reiki session, we are not going to voodoo you, okay? We are not going to heal you. What we do as practitioners is with the intention and with your permission and willingness, we are going to channel the energy from the source. The most probably you as well, but when I do Reiki, it's intuitively, automatically, my hands are going to go on that part or that part of the body what needs healing. It will tell me the energy, your body, your energy will guide me. So we are not going to do, I don't know, anything. It's not really up to us. What we do is we set the intention and we do it with love. And thank you for mentioning love, Akleema, because whatever we are going to do, it comes from love and the intention to help you not necessarily to heal from a very big illness, right? But to make it lighter, to make it, yes, lighter for you.
There's one thing I wanted to say, Christina, the traditional modality of Reiki is for relaxation and for peace.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now, even though it's for relaxation and for peace, the journey to that for everyone will look different. Now, of course, what Reiki is, it's an attunement. Now, it's an attunement to what? Reiki is universal or spiritually guided life force energy. It is consciousness that connects all. Now, when I got my attunement, what I realized over time, as Christina said, is that even though I can do healing sessions, what I am really doing is energetically creating a space where I am able to read your energy field, but I am seeing what healing is being done.
Mm-hmm.
When you connect to your own, your divine link to consciousness, each one of us have like a golden column, golden light that connects us to source energy, to God, whatever you want to name it. Every one of us has our own connection. So when you come for a particular healing session, whether it's a group healing session or individual healing session, a Reiki practitioner creates an energetic space where you are working with the energy directly. Mm-hmm. Now, our gift, being attuned to the energy, is that we can sense what area of the body is being healed. Some people get affirmations, some people, get different hints so that we are able to tell the client, this is what came up for you today. This is where the energy is going to get a little lighter. This is where you need to work on. Between now and your next session, you have some work to do on this particular area. So actually, that's why I'm saying it's a gift. We are given the gift because the normal average person cannot sense their aura. You cannot sense the energy field and where things are stored in your body. So the Reiki practitioner helps senses where you have dense energy, where the healing is going. We can sense where that is happening when you connect to source. And then at the end of the session, why people choose Reiki is because people have reached a place where you want something more. There's deeper healing existing. That there's something blocking your light. This light that connects you to God. Something is blocking it. Something is causing a disconnect between you and source. The Reiki practitioner creates a space energetically to sense that. So it comes with your religious beliefs, and that is okay, because religion, yes. If religion is a part of you, then why are we taking out religion? You come as is.
Exactly.
We accept everybody as is. Once you are willing to receive, all the information is going to come up in your session that will guide you wherever you need to be, wherever you need to go to put you in alignment. That is what Reiki does for people.
Thank you. Thank you, Akleema, for answering that. Thank you, Santa. I appreciate, I love it. I love what you are saying. Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Estera. Oh, thank you. It's really, really, really amazing. I would love to ask you, Akleema, what we said that we are going and we are talking about the self-transformation and self-discovery. How was it is your journey, but how does that look like for a client? Okay, we know, okay, one Reiki session, you're going to try it out, but how the transformation happens, how the self-discovery, what does that look like?
Well, for a client, it looks, remember, everybody's journey is different. So for example, sometimes I may ask the client, like, what brings you to Reiki? Is there any particular current issue that you may want to heal? So I start off with that. If they have a physical ailment, if they have, some trauma that they want to release. So we start with that. What I've noticed over time, however, is that with Reiki, even though people leave with relaxation, people experience deep calm. In fact, a lot of people fall asleep in their session because you have to be asleep or go into a state where the energy could work on your subconscious mind, so you can release the patterns that are creating whatever conditions that you are seeing right now. So for a client, and in fact, Christina, that is one of the things that I'm currently doing. We are blending Reiki with scientific results. So towards the end of last year, what clients get is inspiration. Clients get clarity. So for example, transformation looks like a client who used to do gratitude exercises and then would have stopped. And out of their session, their guide to transforming themselves is going back to gratitude practices, probably writing a forgiveness letter to themselves. I had one client who used to write affirmations and put it in their pillowcase to sleep. Mm-hmm. So transformation looks differently. I had one client who came, and over time, her transformation is actually guiding her to get back into the church to do confirmation classes with kids, because her path is to work with children. Mm. But she's also heavily involved in the church, but she needed confirmation in that way. And I had another client who, even though she came for relationship advice, you know, they come for advice, they want clarity on what to do. What it actually, her transformation actually looked like she needed to release ancestral patterns. And that is one of the things that Reiki does for everybody that comes. Every single thing, our whole entire existence, where we stand, is a representation of all our ancestors that have gone by. All their struggles, all their burdens, all their patterns, behaviors, habits are within us. And sometimes we repeat some of those patterns. So now what Reiki is guiding us for some of the clients, it is asking them to slowly, you know, transform some of the ancestral patterns and not repeat some of the ancestral patterns. So for example, an ancestral pattern that I would have met in one of my clients would have been like domestic violence. So the great-grandmother, especially in the Caribbean, grew up with domestic violence. Grandmother grew up with it. Mother grew up with abuse. And therefore now, her challenge is now, even though you may see signs of it, how now to work on yourself so that we transmute those patterns. We transmute and we alchemize and we transform all of the things that our ancestors, you know, have been fighting up with. Remember, we are at the point of change. Every single thing we do, we consciously choose. Do we repeat or do we choose something anew? So for clients, even though it's hard, they do get ideas, they get clarity, you know, on the way forward. So by the next time when they come for a session, they're able to say, I have started working on those affirmations. While I was doing the affirmations, they get even more clarity on the way forward. They meet other people, not just me. They meet other people in their environment that's going to guide them on their journey towards alignment and where they need to be. And that's the beauty of Reiki. The beauty of Reiki is that, you know, sometimes people think they have to keep coming over and over and over. And even though Reiki is a beautiful experience, I had a client, I told her, I said, you know, you don't need to come. You've gotten all the clarity needed. And she's like, I just love coming here. I love being relaxed. I love feeling peace and calm. I said, you already know what you need to do.
Exactly.
And she said, I know. She said, and she's doing her affirmation. She is writing down, you know, her spiritual, motivational, different things. People are doing the work. And as you do the work, the path becomes clear. And you know, there's a saying like that. Imagine yourself on a dark road and there are several street lights. The path is only going to light up when you step forward. If you remain on this dark road and expect all the lights to light up before you walk down the path, you will not go anywhere. And Reiki and everybody's path is like that. It is a hard journey. I mean, it is, but once you are willing, magical avenues will appear on your news feed, on your YouTube, on Zoom, on Facebook, on Instagram. People that you meet are all going to be like teachers, encouragers, motivators coming to help you. So even if you try Reiki Very, very often now, Christina, I find my clients get clarity very quickly.
Yeah, true.
Even in speaking to people. Speaking to people normally, from the time I start to talk, they were like, oh my God, I have this idea. We need to meet. You're giving me this idea. They get instant clarity. And it's an amazing thing because for me, I know they are finding their way because I am working on myself. The more I work on myself, everybody I meet leave with peace. They leave with calm. They leave with kindness. And that is what I always want for me. People must leave with clarity. They must leave feeling good about themselves. They must leave feeling, worthy of value. So that is one of the things that, Reiki does as well. So it transforms clients in different ways, but I all assure you, we are all headed in the same place. There's a quote by Ramdas that says we are all walking each other home. And transformation is like that for all clients. You do what is needed for your journey. And I assure you, at some point in time, you will realize we are all headed in the same direction. There's only one direction.
True. Oh, thank you so much. Really, I can talk about this like hours and hours. I would love to talk about the karma and how the karma is negative, these energy cords attached to the chakras. We can send Reiki guys in the past or in the future. We can do a lot of things with Reiki. So if you have any other questions right now, please feel free to put them in the comments, or even if you are watching this in the replay, and if you have any questions or you would love to get in touch with Akleema, please do so. I promise you, you are in really, really good hands. She's awesome. She's awesome in what she's doing. She has a beautiful life, a beautiful energy, and she's full of love. And what you're going to get from her is just love. And before we close this live from today, these Truth Runners from today, I would love to ask you two things. Where people can find you if you would love to connect with you. And I don't really like to ask to give advice, but what would be your last thoughts? What would be the main thought or a message about what you would send us today?
Well, first of all, where people can find me, I'm both on Facebook and on Instagram. And I think I will, at the bottom of the live, if we could just put the information. It's the same handle, the Reiki Lighthouse TT, whether it's Instagram and on Facebook. So you can find me there. And of course, you will find information, if you're not aware of what Reiki is, information that's going to make you more aware and educated about what Reiki is. And hopefully the page will be inspiring enough for you to do your own research so that you can reach out to any Reiki practitioner, not just me. Be inspired, do your digging, do your research, but you can find me there to get inspired. And what I want to leave people with is sometimes, Christina, when you learn a modality, you are so passionate, like for me with Reiki. I'm so passionate. And in fact, a lot of people tell me that, I have a glow when I talk about Reiki. I light up. They could feel such an energy on me because I could feel, my life energy flows so freely. The emotion and the kindness and the peace flows so freely from me that it's really like an adrenaline rush. Now, Reiki is what I have been blessed with. I would recommend Reiki to anybody, but I always tell people, when you sit in silence, you sit in silence, you find your sanctuary, you will get clarity coming, whatever path you are meant to be. Not everybody is meant to get a Reiki attunement. Not everybody is meant to teach or do healing sessions. Of course, if you are curious, you can come down this path. But my word of advice is wherever you are on your journey, find a sanctuary. Your sanctuary could be your car, your living room, your workspace, your yoga practice. When you go to exercise, where is your point of clarity that you can send out something to the universe to get an answer? And you don't need to worry about the answer. All you need to do is send out your wish. The answer will come. It will come. It always will come. And I think that is what I want to leave people with, that you can get clarity no matter where you are on your journey. You just need to find your sanctuary, find your inner peace, find your inner space. And if you are having difficulty doing that, by all means, reach out to anybody that resonates with you. Reach out for advice, reach out for encouragement, reach out for support. And one of the things that I want to throw out, Christina, that is still in the making, next month is, we celebrate International Women's Day in March. And one of the projects that I have coming up is that for people who are interested, especially if you have never experienced a Reiki session, to have a free group healing meditation for them in March. So that is one of the things I'll be putting up on my page. And it's for any curious minds, of course, to come and experience. And of course, before the meditation, I will be reminding people what Reiki is so that they can feel comfortable, how to get comfortable in your own space. But to me, that was one of my ideas for March, for International Women's Day.
Oh, that's a wonderful gift, Akleema. Really, it's really, really powerful. So guys, I'm going to put Akleema, so we are going to put her details in the comments or in the details. So please reach out to her. You are a beacon of light, Akleema Ali. I'm so happy and I'm grateful to have you in my life. I mean, you just brighten my day.
You're too sweet, Christina, and you're very kind. And I just wanted to, give you utmost thanks and gratitude for inviting me onto your amazing show. I've been watching, your page and your feed. And when you asked me to be a part of the show, I was really, taken aback at first. But I do hope that, people are curious enough to go researching for what will help uncover your inner light. We all want our spirit to be lighter. We all want to feel free and all want to find inner peace. And by all means, I hope both myself and Christina has inspired you to go and do the work and reach out and get the healing that you so desperately need and want.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for watching us today. Thank you for the hearts, what we received today. I really, really appreciate that. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you lots of love and light as always, and I'm going to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you.